Hello, everyone. My friends, I am back and I hope you will be able to see this very soon. I do have a new camera that should provide more crispier image. So I hope it will be better. Also, I understand that this is a little bit. It was announced that I will be doing this for some time, but I had to change the time for the stream day after day, mostly due to the work. So I'm happy that it's here, and you will be able to find a copy if you will be watching later. I understand Saturdays, Sundays might be good to catch up for people both in the US, in Europe. So I hope the time is okay for everyone. I see already some people are coming in. I see Divine Damien. Hi, I think you are the first streamer, also first watcher, but I see also already some people here. So yeah. Uh, Speaking about delays, yeah, I have to say, thanks for your understanding that it takes some time for me to prepare the content and so on. My life is quite busy, and I have received few very negative comments about the delays. So I just want to address few people, not directly, but really like you call me like I don't know. Procrastination was the easiest thing, like a joke and so on. So people, those that you wrote me these comments, just fuck off. Yeah, I will block you next time if I will see you on the streams, and I don't need you. Yeah, you can watch whatever you want, but thanks for all others that have some understandings. Yeah. So let's go back to the pleasant theme of today. I wanted to speak to you a little bit about one historical case, something that really happened in 17th century in Europe, in Austrian monarchy at that time. And it will be a little bit sad story, but story of Inquisition, witch trials, true things, human tragedy, and also magic. Yeah, so we will dive deep into the time of 17th century in Austria. And before I start, I need to provide some kind of historical background for that. So what we really want to discuss today, I have a picture here. Yeah, so this is Austria, as we know it today. On the north, you have mostly Germany. There is a Czech Republic also on the north, but sorry, not Czech, but there is a Slovakia, Italy to the south, and so on. And I would like to focus us on the area called Salzburg. That's practically in the middle. It's a mountain-like place full of woods, and also where you see Tyrol to the west. So that's where Alps, the mountains, start. And the place is very beautiful, especially those of you that haven't been there or are planning to visit. The best time to visit Salzburg is maybe now, due to the holiday and Christmas market. So it's really a beautiful place to visit. But in the 16th or in the 17th century, yeah, it was maybe not that nice. So the city of Austria, or Austria as such, although the capital was Vienna, yeah, was divided into several ducheries and archbishoprics. Salzburg was a place that was ruled by the archbishop at that time. His name was Archbishop Gandalf. So Gandalf was leading that in that time the ecclesiarchy, and we speak practically about 1675. Yeah, and the Salzburg and the places around were mostly places where lived local miners, people that were mostly selling wood, yeah, and selling it to other countries. The place was poor, although the Salzburg was like a rich city. The majority of the people were not educated. There were some, of course, feudal people. In 17th century, maybe in some lands like in France and so on, it was a little bit slightly more developed. But this is the Central Europe, yeah, something that was still full of medieval times. It was not this time of Renaissance. It was not that rich, maybe as a city in Italy, in France, in Florence, and Milan. Yeah, this is a place that is more rural. Yeah, full of dark woods, and there is a lot of there were a lot of like even pests and things that were decimating the populace in the 17th century, and the division between the rich and poor was extreme. Yeah, now it is also quite big, but nothing compared to that time. There were several uprisings of the locals, mostly of the miners, the woodcutters, and so on. They were trying to get like because the taxes of the clergy were quite high in the 17th century, and also in that time we are speaking about the time that is not so far away from the 30 years old war between the Protestants and the Catholic Church. Salzburg was considered Catholic. Yeah, Catholics and Protestants mostly in the Germany, and the tensions were big. So between the lands, the tensions between the Protestants and Catholics are still strong, and mm, the populace is practically left behind because no one cares. They just want practically them to produce, to mine, to produce wood, and so on. And people are very, very poor. In 1670 and so on, there were a few uprisings of the locals. They were totally decimated by the mercenaries of the feudals, of the archbishop, and so on. And there is a lot of people that are poor. They have no houses, nothing. They are beggars. People are so poor that the local chronics and local historians, when we see the old documents, there are mentionings that they have nothing to eat, and they are practically making bread from the from wood, from this bark of the tree. Yeah, they are making so they are eating practically what they found. If you would be trying to catch the animals in the forest, yeah, you will be caught and you will be hanged, because this belonged only to the feudals or to the archbishops. It was against the law to be a hunter, yeah, in the forest. So they were practically eating nothing, and also the poverty is so big that there is not even that are so few people that are able to buy something, that even the mid class, that is living at the time has nothing to, even if they produce something, they had a few cows or something, they are not able to sell it because no one has money to buy. So we are and in that situation, they are beggars that are organizing themselves in the groups, and criminality is very high. So if you are traveling as a merchant between the cities, if you want to go, for example, from Bavaria, from Munich to Salzburg, it was very dangerous, because if they would catch you in the woods, they would kill you practically just to take your cow or horse or anything. So the merchants had to pay for military guards, and it was costly. So the travel was also very limited. These beggars are organizing themselves. They are raging and trying to find lonely settlements to take something from those that are a little bit more lucky than themselves. And the Archbishopry of Salzburg is in dire threat from the poor. So in this time, sorry to go like this, but I want to explain you how this all happened. That something that, because the magician, that the Jackl magician, was from the poorest sort of people. He was coming from the beggars. Yeah. So these people are creating criminal gangs, and Archbishop Gandalf want to fight it. So he creates something like, for the first time, like some kind of social help. He creates a organization that should provide to the beggars some kind of alms. Those rich should provide some kind of money, food, or anything. And if the beggars come into the city of Salzburg, they will get like their basic groceries, a piece of bread, a little bit of warm water, yeah, something like that. But it's not like we know it from today, that it's paid by the state, or it's automatic tax, yeah, at least in Europe. Yeah, it was only if someone was willing to pay to that. For this, it was considered that as a good deed for the church. So if you want to remove yourself from some sins, yeah, the rich feudal noble should also pay a little bit and give alms. Yeah, and these alms are being organized by a treasury for the alms. And of course, those administrators of these alms are also enriching themselves. So they take the money and they don't provide any food to the beggars. The thing is that the Salzburg diocese or archbishopry was one of the first in Austria and also in Bavaria, neighboring Germany. It was then in that time was Bavaria. It was one of the first social insurances or helpings to the poor in those times. So all of the beggars, by the word, learned that Salzburg is giving something for free. So in a few years, practically starting from 1770 to 1750 to 1770, city of Salzburg is flooded by beggars and by the groups of beggars demanding some kind of alms. And then they had to create something else, and they decide, okay, but only our beggars can get the alms, not the other ones, only those that are living in Salzburg. But those beggars at that time, they were like drifters. They were today, for the very poor, they can stay in one location. Yeah, there are these stores that are maybe throwing away some food or something, but in that time there was nothing else there, so they had to move from one city to another city, and they were nothing like the local beggars. So at the end, the alms was not able to give much, and uh, people very poor are disgruntled. The merchants are disgruntled because they are afraid of the beggars, and feudals and nobles are also disgruntled because they have to always provide something. And so the whole help is failing. And imagine in the situation where you have so many poor people, where 80% of the populace is poor, criminality and anger starts. Those at the bottom of the social society started to feel the church is not helping them as much. And if they have, and in that time there was only church and God and Holy Mary and Jesus. If you were a Catholic, you can't be even Protestant, because Protestants were in that time going against this. They were telling, okay, Catholics, they are only enriching themselves in Rome. But if you would be a Protestant in Salzburg, they will depart you from the city. They will beat you. They will say only the Archbishop, only the Catholics can stay here. Yeah, so no option, nothing. So these people are staying there hungry, and they start to say like, okay, so God is not going to help us. Who is going to help us? Maybe this Satan, this Lucifer that they are always speaking about, that he is so bad, but he is the ruler of the world, they are saying to us. Maybe he can give us something to eat. Maybe he can give us some bread. So this heresy, yeah, starts from practically from the poverty. And there is a man that is at that time was not known as Mr. Jackl, yeah, but he was named differently. We know even that that was his real name was Paul Jakob Koller. Koller was a German name, and his father at that time was not that not that poor. Some people say that that his father, Jackl's father, or in that time he was called Koller, Paul Jakob Koller, he was a red master of Salzburg, which was quite good work. Dirty, yes, yeah, but you get the money because rats were everywhere. Yeah, these vermin, these pests, it could bring a lot of problems to the city. So rat master was a title that was inherited from generation to generation. So we can say that he was practically, his family was well off. Yeah, we know about Paul Jakob Koller that he was destined to become also a red master. And but there was a situation because his father was very rude man. It said that he was a alcoholic, that because of this work, of course. And when he was drinking, he was beating his mother, Barbara Koller, quite brutally, violating her, beating her, and also beating her son Paul Jakob Koller. We don't know what happened, but probably there are some mentionings that his father got into some kind of argument in the city, were under heavy influence, and got killed on the street because of a fight. It made them practically, and that time, Paul Jakob Koller was maybe 12 years old, so relatively young to take the role of the Red Master. Yeah. And it was given to his uncle instead. But his uncle has sons of his own, daughters of his own, and you see now where it's going. So Paul Jakob Koller would never become a red master. Yeah, and if he's not a red master, he is on the street. So together with his mother, they start to beg on the street. So it's a their social situation goes down. Yeah, they start to beg on the streets. They they have no money, but the relationship is told that between them is quite good, that the mother is taking care of his of son. The mother does not call him Paul Jakob Koller, but call him with this small abbreviation in German. Those that are from Germany will understand. She called him Jackl. Jackl, come here, Jackl, help me here, and so on. So Jackl helps his mother to beg on the streets. He makes a lot of friends, young people. He is maybe now 15, 16 years old. And as they have no money, it's believed that it's told that they are trying to do a small stealing a little bit. And they start to steal and take small things from the people. And there is like further mentioning in the 1670, there is a first mentioning in the Chronicle of Salzburg that Jackl was caught because he stole some money from his friends or something, and he was not able to return it, but he disappeared. It was very small amount of the money, but he stole it. So they apprehended his mother instead. and they found some money there, but they found something more difficult, more complicated. They found something more dangerous for her. They found that she stole money from church, from the almary. This is this small treasure box where people are dropping in coins and something. So they found this with her, and they told her, "Oh, you now make a sin against God," and that was something to take something from the church, yeah, because there were a few coins there. This was something that also beggars were doing in the night. They try to get into the church and take the coins. So they found it with her, and they put her into the local prison with her dog. It's strange. In that time, they could put also the dog with the person to the prison. The dog was huge and big. We don't know the race of the dog, but it's written in the chronicles that the dog was with Barbara color, and probably some kind of mix, but a very big one, yeah, and black. So, and they started to say that she was like very arrogant to in that time. She's to those that imprisoned her. She was telling them like, "Fuck you all. My son will show you are." And she mentions Jackl for the first time. Like she said, "My son will deal with you later. You will see." But Jackl is at that time 15, maybe 17 years old, and they give her a little bit food in the prison. Strangely, in the prison, it was maybe better than in the street. But what made them very angry, and what they put into the chronicle as well, that she was sharing with the dog a little bit of food, but he gave him almost the whole portion. She gave more to the dog than to herself. In Christian life, like to provide food in Christian times, in medieval or late medieval times, it was considered a brutal travesty that they give like something to the person, alm to the person, so she should eat, and she give it instead to the dog. So they thought that the dog, and then later on find out that the dog is very feared by the local populace, that he was like even attacking other people that were attacking Barbara and so on. And they accuse her of witchery, because people start to speak and say that, yeah, the dog with her, it's not a dog at all. There is a devil in the dog. The dog was barking on children, and we saw her with Jackl. And Jackl is also. They were praying on. They were stealing from the church, and they put her into torture. And now we think that why would they do it? Because the populace because she was arrogant, she was angry, she did not want it to succumb to the authorities, coming from very low social order, coming from the practically good position, but she hated them, yeah. And she told them, "Fuck you and fuck you all and your God." And then it started. Yeah, what did you said and so on. They put her into the torture. Torture was very brutal. They started with the hot iron that were putting on her body, but she was resisting a lot. She was like showing that Jackl was away, nowhere to be found, but her mother is being tortured. His mother is being tortured, and and she starts to under pain. They found that she later told them, yes, I was doing these things. I was also taking the body of the Christ, which is practically the host of the Christ that is in church, and I was during the Christian rite, you want to be absolved from your sins, so you go to the church, you absolve from your sins. Within the Catholics, you say all your sins to the priest, and then you are allowed to take the body of the Christ and to take it on and slowly dissolve it in you, so the Christ and you are joined. Yeah, this is one of the highest things still within the Catholicism. It was absolutely taken as a deadly sin if you are not absolved of your sins, and you go to take the body of the Christ before you do the absolution before you are absolved by the priest. But you sometimes don't know, so she was just going for that. to take the body of the Christ, and she was telling them, but I was pissing on it, I was spitting on it, and that's considered in that time. Now in Catholicism it's considered like deadly sin. In that time it was the end. Torture. Yeah, so she's being put into the they recognize that we don't know what happened to the dog, it's not mentioned there, but she's put on the under the fire, she's put on stake. Yeah, and she's burned alive. Yeah, it's said that the torturer, the city torturer, was a little bit like merciful towards her, so he cuts her throat before she is put into the fire. Brutal, but maybe resolved some kind of more pain. But anyway, she's dead. Jackl, nowhere to be found. They killed his mother. They took his they took his title, and then it starts to happen. Then they start to look, where is this Jackl? Because in that moment they think, okay, when if the mother was a witch, maybe the son is also a witch. Why would they at that moment wanted to pursue them so much? At that moment they did not want it to pursue them, but the rumors start to appear practically immediately that Jackl joined with a group of other beggars, and that they are starting to curse the livestock of cows, and that they start to attack people on the streets, and that they are causing like witchery and crimes, mostly in the outskirts of the city. So he is practically being searched first as a vigilante, and they really sent some kind of at that time like this police or military men to the places where the cows are. The cows are really mutilated. They are there. Organs are missing. So head is cut off, nowhere to be found. Things like that, and they start to say, "Oh, this is a witchery. Something is happening." They probably take they killed the cows, which is also another. But they took the meat, but also take the heads and so on. And they were mutilating those. They also found out that all of the wine in the cellars of some were totally polluted. Yeah, they found piss in the wine cellar, so they practically pissed into the wine, destroyed everything. So they start to look for him. He's nowhere to be found, but they say that he is now with a group of 20 to 30 children and causing this havoc around. Also, they found out that immediately in all of the churches around, we are speaking 1770, the alms are beginning to miss from the churches. The church places are open, things like cross violated on the floor and so on, and it's all starts to miss. So they look for him. He can't be found, but they say that he's sometimes in Salzburg, around Salzburg, sometimes that he also went outside of the Salzburg, and always this crime is happening. But later on, so they create some kind of like they want him, so so there is a bounty on him. Later on, just so you know, the bounty started with, I think, with 50 golden coins and ends with several thousand golden coins. I tried to recalculate it, how much it will be in current times. So the price was like, his bounty on him was around $60,000. So quite a lot, yeah, for in that time. Now, maybe we now say no, but in that time it was quite a lot of money. For that time, you could buy a ranch or something, yeah, or a whole farm for that money. But no one is able to say where he is until they found a small boy who is called Dionysius Feldner. Dionysius Feldner. This boy is 12 years old. And they accuse him that he is part of Jackl's gang. And he is a little bit mentally, maybe like with a lower IQ, they say. They gave him a name, Dirty Animal. So probably that was someone who was really, really a beggar children. And they start to ask him and also torture him later on. But first they did not want to torture children, so only they like give him few slappings and so on. Who are you? Where is Jackl? And so on. They put him like and he said to him, Jackl, I am very afraid of Jackl. Jackl has maybe 20 people with him. Also, he has a girlfriend now. The girlfriend is pregnant with him. And they put his clothes down, and they found a whole like bloody scar in the form of a cross, like this. Yeah. So, and they told him like, what is this? This is a symbol of the devil. How do you have this? Why do you have this bloody cross on your body? And he says, Jackl cut me. He cuts every children in his group, because if he cuts us, then we belong to the devil. So they start to be like really like, what is this, like how? And then he later told him, but later they start to and he says, but that's not the only thing. Jackl is coming with me, and we were stealing the alms. We were stealing the body of the. We were going to the church mass, and he told us that we should all take the body of Christ in our mouth, and then we should bring it to him. And they told him like, what did you do with that? So I gave him the body of Christ, and then we were mutilating, we were pissing, spitting on it. We put it into the ground with the covered with the excremities from the cows. And he does that he told us that he's making some kind of balm, magical balm, and he needs the body of Christ, because it's a part of his magical balm. And why he needs that? Yes, this helps us. We go, when we have this magical balm on us, we are able to dream, and in a vivid dream we meet with the devil, and we go to the Sabbath together. So the witch hunt started. Yeah, they took a few other people from the children, like other children of his gang, and all of the people, all of them are mutilated. All of them have some cuts on their on their faces. It's a cross. Later on, it's not cross. Later on, they found 39 children that they burned them all. 39. So they found that the scars are not crosses anymore. They start to remember. They start to look like form of old swastikas, Nordic runes. Yeah, things that are totally different from Christianity. Imagine that the guy, the Jackl, is. He's not, he knows about these things, yeah, the occult symbolisms, and they start to say, oh, this is the symbol of that devil, this is the symbol of that devil. Jackl is approaching us with this way, that if you want to be part of his group, he needs to cut us first, and then he takes some kind of blood from us. They ask him, how is Jackl look? How does Jackl looks like? Oh, he always wears like noble clothes, and he's maybe 20 years old, but you will never catch him. Yeah, he wears his knife, and sometimes he has a big book with himself. And later on, the gang starts to attack the local statues of the saints on the streets. They cut off the head of the Holy Mary. They poured with blood. We don't know whether it was animal blood, or they put it with feces on it, and so on. So it's total like revulsion of Christianity, and the people of the gang are slowly being taken in. Some of them are very young, starting from 4 years old to 15 years old. And he has this modus operandi that he is always somewhere in some kind of inn or somewhere. And he approached some kind of kid, and he tells him, come with me. And he's like very magnetic. The children are saying, we can't even resist. He was looking at us, and he told us like, come with me and I will give you food. But first I have to cut you. And he was like, no, don't cut me, the children replies. And he was like, if I don't cut you, I will kill you right away, so decide. I will stab you with knife, you will die, or you are just going to be cut and you will have any food and everything. And the children is afraid, so he takes a knife and he cuts maybe the ear, not the whole ear, just or his tongue, and first he's doing it. You have to put the blood in this book. The children are not able to read anything, but he really like pushes them to put the blood into the book, or he takes the blood and he puts it into the book. And some of them, and then they say, and then he had always a money, but he was going into the place where he paid with the money, and later on the bar owner was saying that the money turned to dust or something like that. And also when someone was not nice to him, that he can only look at some animal and the animal is crippled immediately, that the animal dies within a day or so. And the more they are trying to catch him, some children are put into the torture, which is very unusual to put children in torture in medieval times. And they are saying, like, Jackl is telling you that they will never catch him and he will bring pest and death to your city. And that for that you have like did to him, that the same is going to be done to you. Rats are coming to the city. Jackl's father, the rat master, Jackl is taken away from his heritage title. The rats are coming to the city in rows, in thousands. Pest. A lot of people are saying in the 1670 to 1675, it's in chronicles, that they are being attacked during the night. That the rats are so angry and aggressive that they are attacking small places. They are attacking small children, trying to kill them, eat them, mutilate cows, everything. Hysteria in the whole area of Salzburg. So they catch now. The price on Jackl is very high, like, and they are trying to look for his accomplices. It's only children. Yeah, and then they found this the key witness, this 12 years old. He gives Jakub Koller, but also they found like girls in his group, and they tell that they are saying like, yes, we have been with Jackl. He is using a lot of like magical balms. And he was also teaching us magic, and they are like, okay, how it happened? Like, well, Jackl was showing me that he has several balms. One is red, one is white, one is black. And if I will be using this black one, if there will be some kind of cow or something, if the cow will cross it, immediately it will get crippled. So as it happens to the farmer here, and they was like, is she lying or not? And they came to the farmer, and the farmer confirmed, yes, I lost 2 cows recently for no possible reason. Then they look on the place where the girl told them that the balm was implanted on the ground, and they find some black substance. Yeah, so probably not a lie, probably some kind of poison, something. It seems that Jackl is very knowledgeable about creating poisons and things like that. From where he did learn that, we don't know. We also think that Jackl was able to read and write, and we think that, but he had no formal education. So to learn, and so many people think that he learned it by himself. Imagine, like in the medieval times, without possibility to learn from anyone. He learns how to prepare poisons. He learns how to create some kind of chemical ingredients. He learns write and read. Definitely someone with very high IQ. Yeah, but coming from the coming from the low echelons of the society, and he hates them. He hates them. He hates the society. He hates Christ. He hates God. And he's going to make them pay. Yeah. So the rats are coming. He's still unable to be found, and they torture the girl. They put them under and they tortured her more. And they ask him. They ask her like, okay, so this is the black balm, but what about those yellows and red ones? And she says like, oh, the yellow one, we are using it for to speak and copulate with the devil. Like what? Like yeah, we when I put this balm on myself, I got into the magic trance. Like the whole our group went there, and we were with the devil, and there was a Sabbath. And we don't know whether they put her into the torture or she's saying that because in that time they are using like Malleus Maleficarum, and but she like all of those, and all of those group is saying the same things when they put them into the torture. Like, and we were there. I don't know whether I was sleeping or it was real, but we were sleeping in the woods, and then the devil came. And how was the devil look? How did the devil look like? Oh, a big guy, like a lot of horns and things like that, like dark horns, and we had sex together all, but it was not like that. First we got like a feast, and what was on that feast? Only everything, a lot of sausages, mostly good meat, a lot of alcohol, but no bread and no salt. So, and that in Christian understanding, the bread is the body of Christ. So that was not in the that was not on that feast. Salt is considered something as a anti-magical substance that can be used, for example, for magical protection. Strange that the girl is mentioning that. Yeah, so they but it was a lot of food, but we couldn't take anything with us, because once someone from the group is trying to take a sausage from that dreamy world, and once they are back, the sausage is in his hands. And when Jackl shows him, he told him, put it away, and he drops that sausage on the ground, and then the sausage turns to a snake, and the Jackl killed him. Is another the snake killed the snake. That's another victim told them. But it's interesting from the magical point of view that they are describing that they are eating only the food. Yeah. So the Inquisitionists, horrified by this, learning this from the like 14 years, 13 years children, they asked them, okay, so what happened then when you had this feast? Oh, then we heard singing of like clinging sound, like of something like a bell sound, and then there was a darkness, and we had to had a sexual encounter, sexual, yeah, with like and it's very interesting how detailed this is being described. Probably the Inquisitionists are asking them these questions, so probably this is given by the torture. But you can really, if you read this, it's really like perversion, I think, on the side of the Inquisitionists, because they are asking, how did you copulate? Like, so this is for the adult audience, this is for the 18 plus. Yeah, so I will describe. So the preference of the sexual copulation was like to do it in a kind of like sandwichy way. There were devils and succubus and succubi, devils and devil she's and devils he's, and they were like the girl was or the man, like it was like homosexual and bisexual communication. The devil was penetrating from one side, and the other boy was penetrating another boy or girl again. So they were like this. Yeah. So that was the populate way how they are describing this. Interesting is the Inquisitions are asking like, okay, so and have you felt any kind of pleasure from this? And the girls and the boys are saying yes, but the sexual communion with the devil was that his semen was extremely cold, and also it was kind of cold, and having a sex with the other humans there was like normal sexuality. So this is interesting because we in many witch trials, not only related to this one, the seed of the devil is considered very cold. So dreamy state, they were using the magical balm. From the magical perspective of the balms are definitely a drug, and this is being used on even today, like those that are trying to have this astral dreamings and so on are using magical balms, mostly from the hypnotic flowers. Yeah, I know them in Czech. Like I can provide later on in Latin the names that can be quite dangerous to ingest, even deadly. But the small amounts of it. Probably I will not mention it here because I would then it would be demotiv. Yeah, I probably shouldn't. Yeah, so on YouTube. But those of you that are looking into the consistency of the how the balms, magical balms for Sabbath or astral traveling are being used, you will find a lot of information on that on internet. Enough to be said that a lot of these natural plants are in many countries strictly regulated. So you will probably have to go to the forest and know a little bit about herbalism by yourself to extract them. I have to warn you, it can be dangerous. Even the extraction requires the touching of some of the plants or working with them. Hi, Jarbo. Yes, this is going to be on YouTube. Yeah. Uh, so this is it's dangerous to prepare them, but always check. Maybe it's possible to find it. The application of the magical balm is put mostly on your organs, like somewhere under the armpits, or sexual organs. It can be genitals or anus, anus, and so on. For men, for women, it's around labia. Yeah, so you have to be very careful about the dosing and so on. So, but this is the thing. Yeah, that usually it's done before the sleep. People get into the sleep, combined with the astral dreaming technique. This can be very potent, but also dangerous technique. But it's happening even today. So they are using these balms, and Jackl is describing this quite, or the people are describing this quite technically accurately. So we have here. Okay, I see that there is a mentioning of question. Did you ever felt cold, like burning feeling in your skin when you encounter beings in trance state? Or absolutely, yes. So this is also what the Jackl's group is describing. These changes of cold and heat, some kind of burning or electricity. So definitely something is of a true. Even if they were put under the torture, they are describing it quite in a detailed way. But there is, just to be also totally transparent, they try to put under torture also a very small Peter, who is only 5 years old. And once they are asking him, like, okay, so you had this lunch, you had this dinner, or this feast during that with the Sabbath, and when the lights went down and the bell started to sound, what have you been doing with that devil, that she devil that were sitting next to you? Tell us, what have you been doing with her? And he's like 5 years old, so he does not know what to say. Yeah? So they're like, tell us that you had the sex with her, and he's like, or that you copulated with the devil, and he was like, what have I been doing? I don't understand. Yeah, so yeah, it saved his life, by the way. They haven't killed this 5 years old because they thought that because it couldn't be proven that he had this sexual interaction, because in the medieval law, if you had a sexual intercourse, you were considered adult. So if it happened whether if you had 12 years or 13 in that time, it was early. YouTube again. So in the time, if they had like 12 years old or something, they were considered adult before the court, hence the torture and hence the flames. So in his time, he was like saved because he couldn't describe to them what he was doing with the what he was doing, and so he was only discussing that he was eating the sausage or something. Okay, but they are trying to catch this Jackl, and as the price on his head is quite high, in 1775 they got an information that Jackl is hiding himself on a nearby farm, and it was and that he is there and they should find him, and he was like under disguise that he has visited some kind of farmer, and the farmer sent his like maid to the local offices telling them, Jackl is here, you should come. I have given him food. I know that it's him. He has a cloth, he's looking like a gentleman, but I know that it's him. I have offered him some food and wine. You should come immediately and the reward is mine. So 30 military policemen immediately is dispatched from Salzburg. I mean, 30 men, like for on one lonely guy. Immediately goes there. They came in. They encircle whole farm. They rush in. The farmer is there, pale white, and he tells them, he was here a minute ago, and now he's not here. He was in this room, and now he disappeared. As he heard your horse is coming. He just disappeared. They go through the house, everything. Didn't find a clue. Only there is some food, wine there. Yeah, like he was eating, but nowhere. So they go away. Next day, they found that the maid comes to the place of the police again, like crying, pale, and telling them come back to the farm. They came back to the farm. They found the farmer. He's like almost like he's living, but he's like white. And they told them, once you went away, he appeared. He mutilated all my stock. You will find it like all stock is dead, like with the foam from the mouth. And he did strange things to me. He's like he's crying. He's saying he told me, as you are such a pig that you wanted to give me to the authorities, I will make you a pig. And he's looking normal, that farmer, but he's crying, he's hysterical, he's saying he turned me to a pig, and I was feeling that I am pig, and it was one of the worst things that I had to like. I thought that he's going to kill me, and then I woke up from this delirium. So he was able practically to hypnotize the person, like to totally change the way of his consciousness. If you have seen my videos about atavisms, it's practically very potent magicians can induce this state that you are practically something else. But that considers someone, if it's really true, that's really a mastery of and power of will. So you will look at someone and you will, like in hypnosis, you tell someone you are like this, you are sleeping. Imagine that you can create such psychological trauma to someone, you are like a pig, or you are a rat. And then the person starts to believe in it. That's but he did not kill them. He only killed his all his stock. Reason how he killed that, we don't know. So from then time, they start to believe that Jackl is able to do the invisibility. But if you ask me, it's possible to sometimes there are some techniques mostly in Eastern Hermeticism, that people are training to be like almost invisible. You have these spells of invisibility. I think it's a mind projection, that you can even walk around some people and the people will not recognize you. They will look at you. They will not get. You can go through them, and they will be not able to see you. It requires many years of training, but it seems that this Jackl, who is like 20, 22 years old now, is able to do these very, very advanced mind tricks to the people around him. So I will move now a little bit to speak more about the techniques that he was doing, because how it all ended. It ended with a brutal tragedy for the people. Jackl was never found. They believed that he was having this book into which he was putting all of the blood of his people. It was a process that took almost like 15 years. The Inquisition executed during these 15 years 139 people that they considered followers of Jackl. 39 of those people were children between 10 and 14 years old. 53 were teenagers and young adults between 15 to 21. 21 people were of unknown age, and 113 of these 139 were of male gender, and the rest were women. The youngest was Hannerl, he was 10 years old, and the oldest was Margarete Reinbach. She was 80 years old. So they were, most of them were tortured, burned, some hanged or decapitated. Some hands were cut off, or they were burned by iron. Especially in the later years, the history of founding Jackl was so big that they started to kill even and accuse not only beggars but farmers. And that's when the hunt stopped, because the people started to be disgruntled again. They started to say, okay, Jackl is maybe dead. Jackl is not. Everything was happening that Jackl was doing, so he became really like this person of that everyone was, oh, Jackl, I saw Jackl. But they started to be, there was even like a moment that the people wanted to go against the authorities, so they decided that they will leave it as it is. Just before I will start to think about these magical techniques that I think Jackl was using and they were valid, it's not just a legend, is that during the process was so expensive. The inquisitional process cost 10 times more, that they were able to give to the alms during these 15 years to the poor. So instead, maybe if they will be giving the money that they put into the inquisitional process to the poor, maybe the social situation will be not like that. Maybe there will be not so many people begging, killing on the streets, and so on. So it's a social tragedy. Yeah, that sometimes the fear can you can put more effort into it. And what was how it ended? Yeah, only massacre of people, from which maybe few of those were really part of Jackl, and the rest were really like victims of local hysteria. But what about those few that were really with Jackl? The book is also that discuss this. There you can find Zaubererjackl or a magician Jackl. There is even a movie, German movie, old one, I think from the 70s, about this. But I have a Czech book that I am mostly using for this. It's in Czech. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not translated. Yeah, so that is describing the processes and so on. But the thing is that, what was he doing? Yeah, we know from Jackl that he is using rats. Yeah, some people were saying that he was like always wearing with himself small sheets of paper, and if he saw some paper was very expensive, yeah, so probably he was using that paper from that book that he was having with himself. And he if someone if he does not like someone, mostly girls, he threw a few small pieces of paper on them that were like had like a stops of blood, and the people start to scream, and they saw rats coming on them, yeah, and they were like, but the thing is that it was so strong that they even started to have a stigmata of rats that were biting them. They had the bites, animal bites on, although the rats were never to be seen, they saw the bites, yeah, also on the stock but also on the people. So there from magical thing, I would say that the blood that was used for his group, it was magic condenser. Yeah, you can sometimes feel use blood of the others to power in the black magic some kind of egregore. Egregore is a magical energy or something. May call it demon or deity or something. In this case, it was something related to these rats, pollution, death, and so on. Yeah, other and the blood of the of his gang was helping him to fuel this time of egregore. Some of those that were with him were saying that Jackl was also doing human sacrifices on those that he was unhappy with, or that he allegedly killed a few people of his gang, and also were using the intestines and heart and things like that for his rituals. Uh, mm, this is also not something like only a fiction. I might be doing some video in future also about a medieval magical cannibalistic gang in northern Germany. They were using the allegedly, the sacrifices of people. They were working with the organs of people. So we can say that he was definitely using this type of materials for powering these egregores. So the blackest magic we can imagine. The balms that he was using, they say that he was so good with the in the area of herbalism and so on, that he could just put a little bit of dust on someone, like blow a little bit of dust, and you will get unconscious, or you will get like spasmic shock, something like that. So definitely he was able to work with neurotoxins, and sometimes even saying to some people that he was teaching, and he was saying like, don't touch this, never touch this, but a young guy without any understanding about in the time alchemy, chemistry, where did he learn that? Who taught him this? It's quite mind blowing. Yeah, that he was able to even come to this. The techniques are rude. Yeah, using blood, using incentives, using the blood of children, but it is technically it is very powerful magical inhibitor, yeah, magical material that you can use. Who taught him that? I and also some other magicians that were discussing this think that he was a natural talent, that he was definitely touched by something, touched by some kind of egregore, touched by something that was like helping him and telling him how to do it if I want to do it. So he was hating the society. His technique is, I think he was not a sadist. He was pragmatic. criminal, of course, but based on what he was doing, what he encountered, the hate for according to his mother, the problems with this, how the society denied him. So he started to do this. So this is, I would say, this is proto-Satanism in its further in its deepest point. I don't mean now Laveyan or this modern way of Satanism. This is really like a fight against the Christian mindset of that time. People that were later accused were asking him, so what are his other powers? They were saying that he is able to project himself either invisible or to take the forms of other beings, to other animals. He can project himself, maybe astrally, to anything except the pigeon. Yeah. So because that's a symbol of Christianity, of course. And he can't take the form of this how it's called, ram, yeah, the holy, yeah, so the symbols of Christianity, everything everything except that he can take in, yeah, or he can be, yeah. So again, when they wanted to catch him in the village, he disappeared. Yeah, and there are like a lot of people that are saying that he was back, yeah, like the maid and so on. So using blood, using this, influenced by something. We were then thinking, I and also with some other people I know. So what was this egregore? Like what is this egregore that was able to help him with this type of things? All of these things, if you say, like magical powders, magical bombs, working with vermin, working with these atavistic things, it reaches of, this is definitely not traditional Orthodox magic, yeah, like angelic circles. No, this is something shamanistic even. This is proto magic. This is something deep, deep in us, and it's very close to animistic cults. But this is medieval Europe. So the theory is that the closest that we can maybe consider this is almost like voodoo, yeah, voodoo practice. Although it's he was touched by something that we might find in other types of magical schools, not in hermetic Western magic. And I would even say that he worked with some egregores very close to voodooistic cults. Something more like, not that he was in contact with some African tribes, but he worked with something that is close to it or almost like it. Yeah, his extreme knowledge about herbalism just shows it. Yeah, so I that was what I was thinking about. Then I met a person that studied a little bit more the area of voodoo, and he told me that even in voodoo we have like Loas, Rada, Pedro, the the typical Loas or ghosts, or spirits. Sorry, no ghosts, spirits that that people that practice voodoo are coming into contact with. But he was telling me this is not standard regular voodoo or even like Kimbanda or Oshun, or some kind of things. This is something that even in traditional practice of voodoo is not being like worshipped. Yeah, he was worshiping something very, very different. He was worshiping the spirits of vermin, yeah, of pest, of really something very chaotic. And the closest that there is only one book I was told that describes this type of egregore, which I think is the right one. There is a book. Those of you, maybe some of you might know it. I will show it to you. That describes this type of egregore. And it's this one. This is this is a Voodoo Gnostic workbook by Michel Berthiaud. Michel Berthiaud is someone that is very known for his very different understanding of voodoo. He mixes voodoo with Shinto and also with standard Western magic, and the result is quite potent, but also very dangerous. I would recommend you not to follow the techniques of Mr. Berthiaud, as it can be quite psychologically devastating. Yeah, it creates a lot of it works with atavisms, with internal feelings that are very deeply repressed. But definitely he is working with this type of loas or darker spirits, even within in the wooden pantheon. But I know the person that was really like deep into it, and he told me that the guy or this Jackl might have been working with something that Mr. Berthiaud describes, and sorry, pardon for my French, because I don't speak French, only pardon for my how I will pronounce it. But he says that this is similar to the group of loas or spirits within the voodoo pantheon that Mr. Berthiaud calls as famille transvection. They are in voodoo. You have the families, yeah. So family transvection is spirits of let's say something like it has two meanings. Yeah, it is like the first meaning, transvection is to move in the air. So move within the air. Yeah, and it means illness. It's pest. Yeah, it's like to move within the air might be also related to transfer astrally, like let's say to Sabbath or to meeting with the devil. So it's one thing is the transportation, but it's a virus. It's illness. Yeah, it's transvection means to change the place in the air. Also, it means like to like a row of or it means like centipedes. Yeah, a lot of vermin or something coming in, like a pest eating everything. Yeah, and the guy, the gentleman that pointed me out towards the family transvection, they have their own sigils, symbols. Even he was saying me that the runes that were cut on the forms of the runes that were cut on the children are similar to the some of the sigils of these very dark entities. I'm not going to show the sigils for obvious reason. Yes, for those of you that want to work with this, I warn you. He told me that this is one of the only insane would practically do it. But I told him like, okay, so what are these family like? What it is? And he even saying like that there are like 3 categories of these spirits within the family, and one family is called sorry, French, I don't know, tipiet mille fois. It means like thousands of small legs. Yeah, so these are centipedes. The spirits of this, yeah, poisonous centipedes brings poison. The second type of the family are small vermin, rats, mouses, everything that is in the holes, everything that is visiting a human places to take to eat, and to practically some kind of to bring pest and illness. And the third one is is related to the smell, like skunk, for example. So if someone is working with atavisms of this type of beings or animals, very dangerous because they are very far away from our. It's easy to imagine that I am a flying falcon, or I am a dove, yeah, or I am a some kind of the horse, but imagine that you are imagine that my mindset, I am a centipede now, I am a rat. Yeah, that's not something that you want to maybe have. That's something, that's stuff from Nightmare. Yeah. Jarbo Florini is saying yes, that African witchcraft in general is nasty. Any of those traditions are very dark and nasty. That's true. Yeah, so definitely he's working with very, very dark dark things there. And so this is the theory. There is this family has definitely a connection with also with other things like termites, yeah, ants, maybe bees. I don't know, I wouldn't say bees. He told me bees, but bees are more Christian, like even the Bible is saying a bee is a Septuagint saying bee is a worthy animal, worthy, but these things in the dark, in the holes. Okay, so if these spirits are in the dark, in the holes, what is going to do with your mind? Yeah, it's going to drill you from inside out. If you are connecting with this type of spirit, of course you can command, yeah, these type of things, that you will feel like piggy. I will change you into a vermin. Yeah, the guy was screaming from fear. Yeah, he was like he was transferring his mind, like imagine that he was able maybe to change the mindset of someone, and now you are a centipede. Yeah, it is totally devastating to human consciousness, for unprepared someone. But even for the prepared one, like he was, we know that laws, especially in these African traditions, they are very demanding on the offers. Especially these old atavisms, they are even more demanding. They create you can't practically get out of them. These African laws can't be banished by our workings. Like it's practically impossible. Yes, they don't react to Latin, Italian, Greek. Yeah, this is very primal, something in us. Yeah, so he needed to charge them, not from himself, because they will require offers. Yeah, they will say, okay, so give me the, he was cutting hands or something, he was taking organs. Yeah, so they told him, give us your heart. So he will die. Yeah, but give us. Yeah, so he need to give of someone else. Give us blood, cut yourself, provide us with the vitality. Yeah, and they want more, they want more and more. Yeah, so he had to had a whole large group of followers that were practically satiating this type of energy. Yeah, and then of course the more he gave, the more powerful it was. This mass hysteria, a lot of people really feeling, seeing what he was able to do. Yeah, and it is in one video I was speaking about the African cult that the shaman can turn himself into a crocodile. Yeah, so and it was told that you have to give offerings. There was like, and I know there it was a book that first time you give a human offer, the crocodile has to eat. Yeah, so he had to bring something to the bank of the river once per month, then once per week, then once per 3 days, then it wants 2 people, that it wants 3. Yeah, so, and at the end you will die. Yeah, so the end of it is like it. I think personally, why he disappeared is that it consumed him at the end. Yeah, he was not able to sustain it. Yeah, it's something happened. Yeah, psychologically devastates you. It creates this whole translexion. It makes holes in you, mental, astral. Yeah, it takes. So the theory is that how was he able to connect with this obscure family of laws, if it is really the truth, if it is really this theory of mine and of the colleague, through his natural affinity. He was living in dirtiness, poverty, in feeling constant hunger between the cockroaches, rats, hatred. Yeah, it was natural. Sometimes the magicians, he was not a magician. Even the in my previous video that I created, one of the magicians tried to invoke the spirit of Jackl, and Jackl told him, "I was not a magician. Don't call me that. I was just doing what I learned. I have no traditional learning." The spirit told him, I have because the person wanted to learn some things, and Jackal's ghost is practically telling him in this trance that if I will teach you, you will be like me. Do you want to be like me? Because you are educated guy. You live in your cozy place. Do you really want to be like me? If you want to command these type of energies, you want to be like them. You have to be a cockroach. You have to be like rat. You have to be in dirtiness. You have to stop cleaning yourself. You have to be in it. Yeah, so that's why how mostly the African or shamanistic cultures or wooden work. I don't say that you have to be dirty. No, please, no. There are noble spirits there. The Rado families and so on. You have to be. You have to be like them. You have to connect with. But if you want to connect with something dark, you become like it. Yeah, it's not like good, bad, or thing. It's the thing. They are like this. Yeah, they are not evil, but they are living in the darkness. So your mind will be also there. Yeah, and we are humans at the end. So, but the magician is telling that there are two ways how to do it. Either you will become like Jackl, it will kill you at the end. And why would you try to do this? They will eat you from inside out. Yeah. By the way, this is also happening to this wooden Gnostic workbook. Yeah. I know Mr. Bertio is still alive. I wish him long health. But his book about the Hodun lucky spirits, how he calls them, yeah, you might be connecting with this type of energies. Yeah, and they will look very nice at the end, at the beginning. It's like really dealing with the devil but the true one, not the one, the metaphysical that we are discussing here, but not even the devil. They are just spirits that they want something from you. So in this book, yes, Mr. Bertio had maybe such encounters with this. Yeah, but Jackl was definitely a disciple. It is possible in one of the one techniques of magic. There are two things. Yeah, to finish it with a little bit of theory. When you start to connect with spirits in general, usually we do invocations. Yeah, we light some kind of candles, some things, and we recite some kind of mantra. There might be some kind of incense. No, so for this type of incense, you can imagine what it will be, probably feces. Yeah, yeah. So, but in this kind of some nice, and we have a brief contact with something. We feel elevated. We might even like create some kind of offering, and it's relatively cool, but it's something like just briefly touching with something with the gloves in your hand. Yeah. Then there is, but if you want to go deeper, if you want to really have these effects, you have to start to be really it. You have to live it, like monks living with and trying to commune with the Holy Spirit, or they have the visions and so on. They are living it. They are there praying a lot of hours. Magicians very deep in it. Jackl doing this type of things. But a difference between the sorcerer like Jackl, who is untrained, and the magician is that there is a theory of so-called demonic modes. Demonic modes are specific modes that you can set up for a moment. So let's say I would like to connect with this type of spirit. I don't, yeah, even the words are powerful, but if I would be willing to connect with this type of spirits, I would have to live a little bit a life like that. So I would stop cleaning myself for a month. Yeah, I will stop brushing my teeth. I will be living in very not nice conditions. I will be eating only junk food or something, or old or rotten. Yeah, I will get ill. No problem with that. Then I will create this type of. I would then create some kind of fortitude. Jarbo, in my I have shown it before. Yeah, you will find it in the whole stream. Yeah. So and you have to open yourself to this energy, to this specific mode. Yeah, like accept, but only, and this mode is activated inside you. And the longer you are following this type of mode, the stronger the pull is. It's not only that you are asking, like in invocation, but you are being pulled. You will get addiction. And the mode can't be, once the mode is activated, you are living this, it can't be banished. So if you are dirty and you are living like this, and I'm going to mutilate animals and things like that, I can't get out of this mindset by simple banishing ritual. It would be laughable. Yeah, your mind is totally somewhere else. Yeah, but we are now closely to the psychosis, killers. Yeah, that they have this urges and things. All that's maybe a level of addiction that you are going to encounter. You are being pulled by this to devastate. Yeah, and magician can stop it up to a point that you will do like, and now I'm stopping. You have to do a ritual mantra again, a reversed mantra. As I opened to this, saying the mantra, I will explain these mantras soon. You have to say it in a reverse order. You have to clean yourself. You have to totally put this away. Absolutely. Yeah. Things like this shouldn't be opened in the place where you are like living. Yeah, you should do it outside. So it's very dangerous practice, and we call it, magicians sometimes call it activation of the demonic mode. And the guy that I know is a little bit he really like wanted to he's describing like the full control of this demonic mode. So just so you to show you how it's done, for example, the operation of the full command of this mode, that you can also pull yourself inside and outside, is quite difficult, and even we sometimes don't know how to do it. You can end up crazy. Yeah, so on theory, you will do it like this, that he believed that working with, for example, this type of spirits is that you will open the formula to them through so-called Mandean keys. Mandean keys are Zoroastric saying, teachings of a group of Mandeans. They have even the Mandean Bible and so on. And Mandean is a little bit older than Hebrew. Yeah, so he translated some Mandean words to Hebrew. And he says that to open ritually to this mode is by singing a mantra and doing a yantra. So yantra is something like, I will show you what yantra is. Okay, where is the design? So this is simple yantra. Yeah, this is something used in Tibetan Buddhism. It's concentration thing. So magician usually concentrates on this. Yeah, but imagine that you are not just concentrating and sitting, but you are maybe starting in the up, and you are dancing like in the and trying to, with your dance you are moving, and you want to be like in this, you want to do the similar symbol, like it's in the center, but by dancing, by walking. I know it sounds a little bit strange, but you are like moving up, down, like if you are doing the Kabbalistic cross in banishing ritual. The basic is like, I move from the west and I say, oh angels help me, I go to the east, then I go to the south, and I'm turning in the circle. So that's basic yantra. Yeah, but that's just for your protection. You imagine some circle, and the guy created something. He put that the whole yantra for the opening of this demonic mode to some computer, and he realized that it should contain 72 syllables. You should say 72 syllables 72 times. So you have to say a mantra that contains 1024 syllables, like ram dam, and you are moving 1024 times. So you create specific mantra that is like through some computer program should it's a little bit chaotic when if you are moving and saying this 1020 and you do 1024 steps, 1024 mantras, you are officially opening the demonic mode. Also, you have to turn within that mantra, and you have to do it sometimes with right and left leg, so it's difficult. And if you are not very capable of dancing and so on, it's very similar to the demonic beings that are dancing in tantric Buddhism. You see these demons that are like dancing, so they are doing the yantra. So just so you see, this is how the yantra looks like. 72 positions. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And you have to do it, you are dancing this, we have calculated for 12 hours. And because you have to do it 72 times without a mistake. So prepare, yeah? And just, I will not recite it all, but imagine, I am dancing, I'm starting in the south and moving with specific angle. So it's super difficult, yeah? But if you are getting into such level of trance, no one is able to repeat this, yeah? Maybe some professional ballet dancer, yeah? With conditioning that once you do this, you will get something open, yeah? And he believes that in that mode that the spirits will reach out to you, like in this. So I will say you, like, I am dancing, and each syllable is a one move, yeah? It's like Kala de krachum vilta de kulpiriami mai hun mi nai hun pir ya ambia walan ya de mrauzi bal miala de krachum vilta de kul. You see? I will not finish it. Yeah. So, and it's just saying, and then you are dancing. Yeah. 12 hours. Without mistake. So this is theory, but he was like, I believe that Jackl was not. But if you do this, you will be probably in such level of concentration that you can, and then you have to do it backwards. Yeah, if you want to finish the demonic mode after few weeks or so, you will finish it. But it gives practically, this is something that was done by these tantric dancers, and I believe that the combination of movement and of singing, it's very powerful. So imagine the complexity of this compared to, I don't know, our basic Western rituals. They are very simple. So if next time will someone tell you, oh, it's so difficult to do the Kabbalistic cross, I have to move like this, like this. Imagine this yantra. So yeah, it takes forever. Yeah, it really takes forever. Yeah, and so this is the one of the techniques of higher, like, focus. Yeah, so because it's totally different to be able to have this kind of concentration just to say few names. Yeah, it's even if you for example go and read the book, allow me. Yeah, I will bring you something. Okay, so to have something similar, but not different, but just to see the similarity of it, is the Sworn Book of Honorius. Yeah, in the Sworn Book of Honorius, this is a Christian ritual that should work with angels. Yeah, so the preparation is very similar to the demonic mode, but it takes 1 month and it's done with the angels. This is a book mostly from the 15th century. Yeah, and you have to go through the preparation. Yeah, fasting, praying, waiting, night, evening, prayers, eating, fasting, things like that, eating just water or bread, and later nothing. Yeah, and they have like and you are saying the names of God, for example. I'm not going to say those, but let's say you have here like also the sayings. Yeah, they have to they have to be, you have to be in some kind of seating, yeah, and say the words similar to this, like the mantra. And this is the 15th century ceremonial ritual. So the it sounds like this. Yeah, you are praying and you are like, Tunc in frigicap dicat ubi est abarex ubi sun hici quiron zac ladep ubi est maimon rex ubi sunt assaibi albunali cabaibelli hiasla ubi est ratan ex ubi santadas caudas ialcal eu ministri ubi est formione rex ubi sunt gut magut gutrin eius minstri ubi est iamax rex ubi sunt carmox ubi and you go and go, yeah, like this. So the technique of pronunciation is important, but through the focus you get into these states. Yeah, so Jackl was not like that. He was able to do it everything without this. Yeah, we need these ceremonial techniques. He just opened it, it killed him, but he was able to do this type of things. Yeah. So questions. Society of High Sciences is putting here interesting thing. In the book Oberon, 15th century, it mentions demonic entities attacking the practitioner even weeks after doing the invocation. Oberon, the book of Oberon is a little bit older. The book of Oberon... the book of Oberon is the Victorian grimoire, 18th, 19th century, which is quite interesting. I like it as well. It contains a lot of names, workings, taken mostly also from these older versions, like the Sworn Books of Honorius and so on. And it can be seen, yes, that the entity is attacking the practitioner, of course, because we are dealing with something that is touching your subconscious. You are opening, and you should be doing these protective rites, or like Jackl, he does not have to do anything because he's already there. Yeah, he is theirs. He is just giving someone else instead of him. Yeah. So yes, very potent magical rituals have mind-changing effects for weeks, even months. The more complex you are doing, that's why this technique is important. Like start it slowly, yeah, and knowing that to be in the right state of mind. Yeah, for if you will start to do things like Jackl, you will get crazy. Like every person, probably the person will become very dangerous to the society. But yeah, it is. The working with magic is mind-changing in a way. Okay, so I will check whether there is something else. I'm sorry, maybe there are some, but okay. If you don't cleanse yourself and become holy before doing the magics, it increases the likelihood of them being able to harm. It's difficult, you say. No, like we would have to think about what means holy, or I think that definitely if we understand ourselves the more as we can, as much as we can, then there is not so many things to surprise you. Yeah, because a lot of these things are affecting you on subconscious level of something that is not still yet resolved within us. Yeah, so if we have some kind of hidden things, if I am addicted to something, if I like alcohol, or if I like pornography, or if I like specific sexual things, these are the most important things. Or if I am angry in normal life, yes, then it will be multiplied. Yeah, then all of these things will go out. Yeah, if I'm aggressive, I will become more aggressive because it's more related. Also, the type of energies will be sticking to us, that are more prevalent in us. So the more we know about these things, because then we are able to understand whether it's outside or inside, whether it's like outside influence, yeah. But it can't be totally eliminated, especially with working with these atavistic forms, like in this voodoo, yeah. So by cleansing, it is really finding balance. Whole the circle and everything is just the extrapolation of our inner state, like to be really mentally, physically in good shape. Otherwise, if you do it for some kind of thrill or willingness, just for a show or something, then it's going to backfire. Jackl was also doing it for hatred. He was hating the society. He hated them so much, I believe, that it started to work for him. Yeah. So, do you think the demons or entities respect Christian rituals themselves or the magic themselves? This is a very interesting question. I believe that depends. This is the question always, like in like every magician will say, it depends. Those spirits or those egregores that are coming from the Christianity. So let's say I will be working with 72 demonic entities of Solomon, let's say, would be, of course, reacting towards Christian rituals. Yeah. But if you are doing, for example, some kind of like ritual and you are a believer in Christianity, then that is very strong thing that can help you. Yeah. The problem with working with some kind of entities is that, for example, and it's practically proven within the magical community, that if you are trying to invoke, it's easier to invoke these higher celestial energies through Latin formulations, by Latin. But it's easier to evoke demonic entities through Greek. Probably Greek or Greek formulas. Yeah. And in recent times, mostly those that are working with these new things, like the entities of voodoo, for example, they would react not so. They might not even come or not be reacting very well to Latin. Yeah, they react more to the local language of or you might speak French. Depends. It must be from the same cultural niveau, but there is definitely like Christian words had very strong, because it was so worldwide known. Yeah, so if you say like apage satanas or something like that, it could have this protection, yeah, for many spirits. But now with the Christianity being, I think, on downfall, because we have so much atheism, polytheism, different type of understanding. People are not so religious in general as they were before, so it can be felt also with these rites. Yeah, that it gets a little bit less potent. Good and bad. Yeah, if you are going to use protective circles from Grimoirum Verum, or let's say Book of Oberon, as was mentioned here by a colleague, it will have maybe lesser effect now as it had 150 years ago, unless you are really like if you know what you are writing and you are saying. Yeah, if you really have the understanding of learn the translation. Yeah, if you are not in Latin, learn the translation what you are saying and try to think about it, and then it has much more power. Otherwise, the spirits will just laugh. They usually do. Yeah, they are. If you translate like in Greek and we say to them something in Greek, it happened even to me. It was like, you can't even say my name properly. It's they are negative. But it's how it is. Yeah. So they respect more a magician as a person than a specific form or tradition that you are coming from. Uh, Daniel Farrow is asking, Farrow, sorry, are you still working with the Olympian spirits of Arbatol? I have worked with the Olympian spirit, and it's interested to hear all about your experiences. Oh, this is a big topic. Yes, I do. Actually, now David Rankin made a new book. Uh, I'm still waiting for it. David Rankin is a contemporary magician that is writing a lot about Arbatel, and Hadean Press made this new book. Unfortunately, the publisher had some printing issues, and the book is delayed. And he rewrote the Arbatel for the, at least he says, for the contemporary reader. So, but based on his previous books, I think David Rankin will take the topic right. I still work with it, but I probably this is for some other other session. But thank you. Yes. Okay. Okay. This is $1 million question. What is the best demon in all 72 demons, and which demon is best in all aspects? That's not, there is no answer for that. We can't, if we take this all, and I believe as well, a little bit allegorically, yeah, imagine this is a specific egregor understood by medieval magicians. Medieval magicians were priests, so they did not understood the deities of the past. They misplaced the names, Greek names, and they created the 72 demons. So it's an amalgamation of older deities, cults, and so on. So it's something new. So in medieval times, they created a new egregor that is becoming very popular later on in 16, 18, up to date. So you can't take it too literally, that this is the demon that is going to give you gold, this is the demon that is good for love. Doesn't work like that. But the thing is that these 72, their basic descriptions are a little bit of hints of what what they will activate around you and in your mind. So if you are going to work, let's say, with some spirits like what is coming to my mind? I don't know, Stolas. Yeah. So that spirit is definitely going to bring. You are connecting with some kind of egregor that has a little bit of a little bit of necromantic energy, because maybe it's related to the Roman burial rituals. It will teach you a little bit about should, if you are interested about gems, you will start to feel nature differently. Yeah, so it just starts some things, but it's not that that he's best for everything. Yeah, the best thing for all aspects is it's within you. Yeah, to develop yourself as a magician and to work with the things as the tools that are good for you. But it's not that I think simple. If you are asking like from the someone that starts with as a magician and that has and wants to work with demons at all, which is a dangerous undertaking, you might try Dantalion. That will bring you some crazy dreams. Nabucodonosor is asking, Clavus, what do you think about it? Is it possible to do DNA manipulation through therianthropy, or some levels of biokinesis, maybe even help of an expert deity? I don't think so that we can manipulate it on that biological level immediately, but if same as Jackl, you might, if you will be working with, it might bring some psychosomatic effects. If you work with some kind of mm, if you work with some kind of idea, yeah, or atavism. Yeah, atavism is I will explain a little bit, like I have it here written nicely, what atavism is, because I use the word often. So it's a recurrence in an organism of trait or character typical of an ancestral form, usually due to genetic recombination, and in recurrence of reversion to a past style, manner, outlook, approach. So sometimes we have moments of atavism, like some people have like more human hair on some areas or something. It's atavism of or some people might have some small deformations, yeah, that are atavistic. But people that are working mentally with some kind of atavism, so for example, I said it in one video that I will be trying to imagine that I am a pig and I want to feel like pig. Mentally, it will start to change me. Yeah, and I believe that if I would be doing this for a long time, you know how it is said, like if people like each other a long time, like partners, they love each other and they start to become similar. Yeah, that they people like in the photos, they start to see, oh, these people they are like twins, and it can be husband or. I believe that you can get some traits. Whether it will affect your DNA, I don't know. I don't think so, but definitely the psychosomatic effects will happen. Yeah, and as was mentioned with Jackl, he was even able to create this strong vision of to that farmer that you are a pig, or you are a centipede. So interesting question. Yeah. Okay. Yes, a lot of questions, but some of them are outside of the. I will probably do a Q&A later on. So, okay. There is just one question still being we are being asked about these spirits from 72 from the Lesser Key of Solomon. I understand all of your interest about these two, but really about this, but Lesser Key of Solomon is probably the most known contemporary occult grimoire that I don't consider something that is maybe the best, yeah, but don't take it like that this is like an encyclopedia of demons, and you can your experience working with Prince Epos, that is coming probably from the Egyptian Ipsis, but I don't want to go that way now. Might be different than mine. Yeah, because definitely they will have some kind of traits that will be similar to each of us. But if you are interested in a picture or in a sigillum, the symbol of the spirit, right? Your experience will be more worthy than mine, because mine will be only maybe canceling your openness towards this. Yeah, so the worst thing that you can do, and I was doing the things as well, is to watch videos about the spirits. How was this with this spirit? How was it with this spirit? Yeah, I spent hours and hours on it. I did mine few videos as well, and to be honest, I'm thinking that I will cancel those videos or put them away, because I think that they do more harm than good. Yeah. Try it by yourself. Invoke. Yeah. uh, for basic invocation you don't need too complex things or protection, nothing like that at the moment. Yeah. That's a very personal question, Roxana. Atavism is something that we want to that we feel our own. You can do it this way. Imagine, sit yourself in some quiet room in darkness, and imagine you will close the eyes that you are going through a tunnel. At the end there is a light, and you are going through the tunnel. The tunnel is dark. There are a lot of things around the tunnel. Darkness, maybe some creatures, something not very nice there. It's a little bit creepy, but you go, go, go until the light become more prevalent, and you will enter a countryside, a land. Might be a desert, might be a forest. You don't know. Stay open to it. And you are walking in that land, and you want to meet something that is pleasant for you to try in your dream, and you want to become it for a moment. So first thing that you will meet with is a centipede. That's not something nice you want to try. That's not something that you want to immediately put your consciousness into, because it's so alien from your mindset that would maybe do some harm to you. Then you go and there is some pond, and there are some nice fishes there. First, you think that these fishes are nice to try. Maybe there is a yesseter or something there. But then you realize that the big fish eats the smaller fish. And now the small intestines of the small fish is in the big fish. And maybe it's also not something that you want to try. Then there is a dog that comes out of the wood. But the dog is limping. And you see that his skin is full of some kind of, there are some parasites on it. Now you don't want to try that. You don't want to get into something sick. Then you see a nice bird. The bird is nice. It might be some kind of, looks like this tropical papagayo or something, but you think, oh, papagayo, I don't want to be with that. You go next, and then you see something, then you see some kind of, then you see nothing, and you think, okay, maybe I will try that papagayo. And then you go back and try to be like that. Birds are close to us, but try to go into the atavism that is close to us. It should be something that is sapient, maybe, can be a monkey, can be a dog, can be a cat, can be a lion, but don't go to something that is too far away from the evolutionary ladder. Yeah, because the deeper you go, the stronger atavism becomes, and the deeper impact it has on our minds. Imagine that you are trying to push yourself, your consciousness down through a millions of years of evolution. Atavism is degradation. That's why but with this, it's really a form of working with dark things. If you work with the spirits or with the demons, why they are having so many atavistic, animalistic forms? Because they are full of these things. So you are practically trying this. It's a little bit technique that I would start with something simple. That's why the people that start with magic try nice cat or something like that. It's not nothing bad. It can be even imaginative animals can be dragons. Yeah, that's a powerful thing. Yeah. Good question related to the topic. Magister Daniel Feiros again. Magister, how do you suppose those entities were able to teach Jackl all those things so proficiently? That's fascinating. This is the fascinating thing. This is, I think that as I discussed, maybe if you were here before, I know that stream is long, but I was discussing these demonic modes that magicians sometimes, or people can unconsciously open something. So he was very close to that energetical thing, this Loa thing or atavism. It's not even atavism because that's something that's an this family transition. He was living in poverty, in darkness, full of anger. He wanted. He was practically his only companions were these rats and things like that. He hated Christianity. He wanted a revenge. He was maybe using his mindset like he was praying to Satan in his idea. Yeah, he wanted something bad to happen to them. He was asking like, bring me something that can help me. I will give my soul. Yeah. And as he was living in this, and he was even like predominantly his father was living with rats. It's something in this collective DNA that they approached him, and he was willing to give them everything. First his things, and then at the beginning I was discussing this dog, this dark dog. This dark dog is very interesting because it brings me like, what was this dog always with this mother, and then he disappeared. Dog, it's many times a symbol of Lucifer. Yeah, it's like that. So I don't know whether this was some higher, darker spirit or something that was just like telling him, and these are the things that are going to help you, Jackl. Just reach out to these. Yeah. And then he started to work with the closest thing to him. So let's say if you will be working, if you are working with horses, for example. I know a practitioner. He was training horses. He was living in a farm and thing, and he was very much into magic. And as many people, he started with Lesser Key of Solomon, of course. And he was fascinated by those that had like a horse head, yeah, the spirits, and they reacted to him. So to each his own. Yeah, it's like I think that why he was able to do it so proficiently is because he was really one of a million, perfect for that family, living in perfect time, in perfect moment, had no moral scrutiny about anything, was willing to do everything, had enough intellect to learn to write and to understand what they were practically saying to him. So if you will be, he was obsessed by it. So if also working with the spirit is that, but he was not able to control them. They pulled him in, they tag him. Yeah, so he gave them everything and they give him what he wanted. But I think he did not end it well. He disappeared. I think it was not that he was riding to the sunset. Yeah, that was something. Usually, you have few years, and then your psyche totally distracts. Yeah, many working with this type of destructive atavisms. Practically no matter of banishing protection helps because you are opening yourself fully to that stream. Yeah, so they take you from inside. More on that can be it's many times it's possession. That's full possession. Mm. Okay. Question. The Fat Muppet. Is it really immoral to play with people's free will when they are unaware of their ego? It shouldn't really matter that much, right? Is it immoral to play with people's free will when they are unaware of their ego? The risk of it is, I believe, not that of that you will, because yeah, some people are assholes. Yeah, some people are stupid, some people you don't like. And many times when I started with magical practice, I always wanted to be like put my emotions on leash. That, oh, I shouldn't be probably doing that. It's destroying my meditation. I should be more calm. Yeah, I don't have to do this. And that's not exactly, I think, what is good, because we have a lot of also negative emotions inside us, and to fully like avoid them, or thinking that I am like uh, to have this remorse, that's also not good. But then you have extreme of Jackl, yeah, that he practically he hates so much that there is nothing else than just hating. So the trap of magicians that are maybe not on the Jackl's level, that he can practically destroy the city, yeah, but the of magicians of relative success, that they can be magnetic, they can fascinate some people, they can even trick people against each other. That is possible, but the trap of magic, or the initial, is your own ego as a magician, because when you start to play the god, you will practically, you get into ego trap myself, because if I will be like doing these things to others because it shouldn't really matter, maybe you are inflating maybe you are not, but you are in a risk of inflating your own ego. And the other energies that are working with you, that have like these intricate workings of how to push you, move you towards them, and so on, can use it. Yeah, they will say, yes, you are right, you are perfect, you can do it. So I would be careful to do a lot of mischief to others because of mine own, because I would be afraid of my own, I can do with you all. Because imagine you have a lot of sect leaders that are passive magicians, or are even doing the magic, and they have hundreds of, or even thousands of people, like everything. They have women, men, whatever. They have money, but they get so inflated that at the end they end up like Hubbard from Scientology or whatever. They got crazy living in a ship. So it's not a question of morality, but your own control. Yeah, if you just want to do it for because I can, that's something wrong. Yeah, just because you are just opening yourself to energies that will manipulate you and are just maybe more intelligent. But I would be careful. Mm. Uh, okay, the last question, but very good one. I apologize, I can't translate. I don't know your name. I don't know how to read it. But yeah, not stupid question at all. Can I try accessing future features through atavism? Something like Ubermensch. Okay, so Ubermensch, if we speak about Das spoke Zarathustra from about Nietzsche, he he's he mentioned he mentioned this like Übermensch, something that that we should try to find our own purpose defined by will. So if you mean something like that, that you want to become, to know your own purpose through your through will, something that you are, atavisms are very good for that. That's even a practice that is making you as a magician very strong when you are working with the demonic energies and so on, because they are trying to work through these atavistic experiences later on when you invoke them. So working with atavism is practically accessing your old collective memory of things that are happening millions of years ago. So we are not reaching the future, but we are reaching the past here. But the future is defined by the past. Yeah. So your conscious thoughts, decisions, things that you are, things what are ticking inside you, these feelings of anger, ego, whatever ever, many times is fueled by old atavisms that are somewhere behind, and we don't know them because they are clouded by our current ego of humanity. So you are leaving the veil. That's different and dangerous practice. That's why we want to be cats and horses at the beginning and not centipedes, and tarantulas. Yeah. Really, guys, don't try it. Yeah, I mean it. If you want to get crazy, I warn you. Yeah. So you can become, you can have better understanding about yourself if you touch atavisms, but do it slowly. It's like diving in the sea. Yeah, there is no bottom. Some say that at the end you will reach this primal first organisms, these bacteria, billions. It's impossible. I haven't met anyone even very if you think it's not that easy. And the deeper you go, the more the pool goes. Yeah, to go there. So stay within the species of mammals. Stay with the mammals. Yeah, don't go deeper than mammals first. Try mammals. Yeah. And you might learn a lot about yourself and maybe also about your future because we learn from these experiences. Yeah. I feel like this what happened to Jackl. Although we can learn a lot from his success, is similar to Faust. You made a video on that earlier. They both seem to have achieved a unique connection to them. Yeah, Faust was also like that, although similar. Faust is another side of that similar fate, but Faust was educated. Yeah, he was like a guy with a lot of. He was one of the most educated people in his time in the world, I assume, or at least Western world. But he also wanted to go deep. Yeah, he worked and created this Faustian grimoire. Yeah. Uh, and worked with the seven archetypes or seven archdevils. A little bit different from the 72 Lesser Key of Solomon. Yeah, so Magia Naturalis et Innaturalis, it's in English. That's German magic, dark. Yeah, so, but yes, at the end, I think he also reached very deep and got something and it consumed him at the end. But he was able to resist longer. Yeah, it was some kind of strange agreement that is now for in literature and this all. It's like a popular story. Goethe made it so beautiful and romantic, but at the end, is that really something happened in that pub where his body was literally torn to shreds. Yeah, they found his head 20 meters away, thrown from window, and inside was no one. And there are people that saw it. The body was totally whatever. Yeah, so two sides of the similar fate. So we should be watchful about what we really want and not to get into the Faustian bargain. So I think Jackl took the Faustian bargain. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to speak to so many of you. I hope you liked it, and I will later prepare something else. I want to speak about very interesting. I will speak about the tarot, which might seem not interesting at first, but there is a specific tarot with which I believe is a tool made for black magicians in Milan and in Medici's Italian family of Medicis. They created a tarot deck called Sola Busca. It was done by the Ferrara and Medici. Those two noble houses were fighting each other in the 16th century. Sola Busca Tarot is a little bit obscure form of tarot that is still being kept until today. Some people are reading from it, but it's not very popular because it's difficult to read from it. I do have a copy, and I believe it was created for necromantic operations and rituals. And I would like to speak about it later on, and it will also be a dark story. I will be showing you the Sola Busca Tarot. So have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.